welcome back everyone, Newbitator here. Thanks again for joining me for game number 2 of the Myth World Cup 2014 final series versus the Bros, well the Bros versus the Fellowship of the Bling. We're looking at the Fellowship of the Bling. This is their starting position. It's going to be on the northwest side of the map. Once again, actually. No, it was opposite last game. Yeah, that's right. This, of course, is the team captained by Osmodian. Actually, let's just go over the players really quick. Donsky is going to be on this team. Zell, Eastwind, Mercadon, Arsenic, Cryptos. So pretty good lineup, actually. Actually, this is a fantastic lineup. They're going to be trying to unseat kind of the uncontested champion of competitive Myth here, Giant Killer General, who Rat King is going to be joining him once again this year. Limp is on his team, surprisingly enough. Kind of a long-standing veteran in the community. Kruniak, sort of his right-hand man. I mean, Kruniak and GKG have been teaming for, I don't know, at least a couple of years, 2 or 3 years now. Every chance they get, it seems. Shadow's going to be on the team, who's kind of a wild card, I think. Dak, I believe, is just a longtime friend of GKG, and then just observing this match by joining his friend here. And Samuel, who is actually another great player. So Shadow's I think Shadow, you know, he's a wild card in that he might not be at the caliber of some of these other players, but he definitely... Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been playing a lot and improving a lot, and he's a solid player in his own right. So, I mean, I don't know. He's kind of an instigator because he talks a lot. And he talks a lot. He says a lot of things to a lot of players that makes people upset. And he's pretty irritating, I think, to a lot of players in the community. But I mean, I don't know. He's just been focused on improving and winning. He's been focused on winning a lot. So I mean, this might be a shot at putting himself on the map on a competitive level. I mean, we've seen him in tournaments past, but this is nothing like this. I don't think so. This is going to be an interesting proving grounds for him. The other players, I mean, Rat King, we saw him win last year. Limp. You know, he was a big name back in the day, I want to say. He's still kind of someone to watch out for, but you know, he's a solid player as well. Kruniak, you know, posting huge numbers this tournament. And Samuel, of course, is a heavy hitter.
Game on.
I almost want to say on the caliber of Eastwind, who's the heavy hitter, I think, for the Fellowship. I mean, Osmodian's a pretty good player. I mean, I want to say he's not as consistent as he could be. But then again, I haven't actually been playing in a while, so
Flag
you can totally
captured.
discount my opinion, and that would be perfectly okay. Donsky's a solid performance
Flag
player.
captured.
But I don't think
Flag
he's comfortable in the
captured.
heavy hitting roles for his team. Which means that, you know, maybe Merc or Arsenic
Flag
has to pick up the
captured.
slack, who are both solid players, but neither one, I think, is like a heavy hitter. They're just like core players, core role players. And Cryptos is kind of a mysterious player. Nobody really knows his true identity. He just sort of arrived on the scene one day and stuck around.
Flag captured.
You know, the noticeable thing about him is his conspicuous insistence on good grammar. So kind of an unusual
Flag
player,
captured.
but he is pretty consistent and plays at a
Flag
pretty high
captured.
level. So he's a good complement for this squad. Zell, I don't know too much about him. I think he was on Northern Paladins at one point, which totally
captured.
dominated the tournament scene.
Flag
I don't know,
captured.
maybe
Flag
10 years ago.
captured.
Quite some time ago, actually. So kind of an old hand. So this is an unusual, I mean, what is this? This is King of the Map. I think this is 4-10 or something like that. I don't know too much about
Flag captured.
you know, strategy for this map. I mean, you can see there's several flags down the middle of the
captured.
map. And the way it works is the more flags you control, the more time you get and the team with the most time at the end of 8 more minutes is going to be the winner of this game. So I think typically you're going to see. Oh, interesting. Yeah, these are heroes. No, these are healers. Okay, Heron healers. Pretty good. I mean, they start out with well, this one started out with a lot of roots. Shadow here. I wish I knew more about the strategy. Unfortunately, I'm just jumping right into it. I didn't actually watch the strategy coming into this game. But let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Fire arrow goes down. It's going to basically move Cryptos back a little bit. Although this mid flag is going to be contested. So yeah, going to be moving in is Giant Killer General. He's going to be trying to push back the archers here from Donsky. And actually a Puss goes down. This is looking actually pretty well for him. He is going to expose himself by walking into the low ground water here. So he's going to try to throw down another fire arrow and try to keep pushing. Actually, Donsky needs to be careful. It looks like Limp is going to try to support GKG here, but GKG needs to be careful. He's lost one archer already, and he is going to be pushed back here as Donsky turns around. He moves this Thrall and pushes GKG back out, although GKG could sink that Thrall if he wanted to, but it's going to be really tough for him to dodge all these arrows. There's arrows coming in from all sides here as Cryptos turns on GKG. And where's Limp? Limp, what are you doing? You need to back up GKG. Donsky's going to move in with a Puss arrow of his own, but is he going to lose it? No. Nice block by those Thrall. And that Puss does end up going down. It does, though, allow Donsky to push in with the Thrall. He's going to take out a few of GKG's bodyguards here. GKG is going to move in a Puskull of his own. Is it going to be enough? Actually, it's been pretty even here, GKG and Donsky.
Flag captured.
I want to say all in all. Donsky coming up on top a little bit with the Thrall here. But, and actually, I want to say Donsky has all of his fire arrows remaining and a little bit of health on top of GKG here. So I want to give that fight to Donsky. GKG fought for position, and in the end, he's forced to retreat. Great engagement there by both teams. Although you know, it was really difficult. I mean, Zell did a great job there of making sure Limp wasn't able to focus, turn around, and try to basically flank Donsky while that was occurring. And Osmodian's moving in. GKG, he does see it, and he is going to turn around. But I don't know, these units are pretty fast. The goal is going to try to catch him unaware. And I mean, GKG is such a core part of his team. It's going to be hard for... nice defensive Puss, but all three of his archers go down. So great Puss by Osmodian.
Flag captured.
Yeah, with GKG out of the picture, I mean, he could take units from other players, but is he the kind of captain to do that? I'm not sure.
Flag contested.
It looks like Fellowship is being whittled down. I mean, archers are probably Donsky's forte. So being able to take GKG out of the picture while retaining your archers is huge. And it looks like Shadow up top.
Captured.
He is going to try to defensively deflect Osmodian's Heron healer. If he can take that healer out, that would be massive. But that healer just heals up. He does only have one heal left.
Contested.
To Shadow's 7.
Flag
but Shadow needs
captured.
to be careful. There's so many units here and so many archers. He could easily lose that dwarf.
Flag
although he's trying to move in the goal of his own, but he does lose that. But he takes out the enemy goal.
Flag captured.
Let's look at the teams.
Flag contested.
Pretty close, but it looks like it's tending to go Fellowship's way here in game number 2.
Captured.
They're up on time.
Flag contested.
They're up in percentages. They have a number of percentage points, and Shadow just runs in, takes a bunch of damage to the face. He's careful. He does heal. And
captured.
The arrow does go down on his dwarf.
Contested.
2 kills there. He's going to dance around. Basically, this actually isn't so bad for the bros because Shadow is tying up this big contingent of, and I don't know if that was worth it or not, taking out one archer. I mean, everything you
Flag
can get. And actually,
contested.
that was a great shot there by Shadow. But is it enough? Oh, he does manage to dodge.
Flag
No, it doesn't go off.
captured.
And he does end up getting hit. He is going to be taken out
Flag
there.
captured.
Beautiful shot, but it takes out. It takes out his own Heron healer. So, I mean, that was a beautiful lucky bounce there, but he ran right into it and basically got taken out.
Flag contested.
He's going to try to maneuver his goal on out of there. But you have to keep in mind, while all that was happening, he tied up this contingent, that flank there. And actually, there's an engagement going on here in the middle, but without GKG, I'm not sure what the bros can do. They get a nice shot on
Flag
Kryptos, who's
contested.
clumped up there trying to chase out Samuel. So Samuel with a nice shot, dealing a lot of damage to that Thrall, but it's not enough to take them out.
Flag contested.
And they're just going to chill underwater, impervious to explosive damage for the moment. And basically
Flag
chase
captured.
out Thrall of his own. Samuel still has so many archers remaining. I mean, I don't know, is it worth? Do you think it's worth maybe splitting those up at this point? And Arsenic is going to put pressure by taking more flags on the bros. So, I mean, actually looking at the time,
Flag contested.
Fellowship is running
Flag
away with this
captured.
game.
Flag contested.
Although Osmodian,
Flag captured.
actually, yeah, there's plenty of warriors there, so he was never really in any danger. And the more kills you get on your units, the
Flag
faster
contested.
and more effective they attack. So I mean, I want to say Samuel's kind of like the last bastion here, but he needs to split his units up
Flag
if they want to
contested.
be able to play the game type. So I think he's just going to play for BC at this point. He's got 15% of his team
Flag
out
contested.
of 23% to
1
himself.
minute
So I think
remaining.
he's just going to try to play to
Flag
minimize losses
captured.
for himself, play for ratios at this point, and kind of seed the game. I don't think he's going to try to split up these units, and they're all slow units anyway. I mean, what can they possibly do? All of the flags are basically being controlled by the Fellowship at this point.
Thirty
Were they
seconds
Duffless?
remaining.
Duff is it's basically a what would you call
Flag contested. Flag captured.
Oh, Puss dud there on Samuel's dwarf, but it does go down. Yeah, Duff is dwarf. That's what it means. Osmodian is actually gonna survive
Game
for
over.
now, as they clean up, basically cleaned up Samuel in the last remaining minutes. So he tried to hang on to this last remaining flag in that area, but ended up getting cleaned up by the concerted pinch here from all of these members, team members. Zell came in. Looks like Merc was coming in. Basically, everybody from Fellowship arrived on the scene to try to wipe the floor with the last remaining units. So yeah, that game number 2. I mean, I want to say it was decided pretty early when GKG quite aggressively pushed across the river and ended up having to retreat. And actually, Osmodian's Puss taking out his last 3 remaining archers. I mean, even the best players make mistakes, and I don't know if it's a mistake that those 3 archers were taken out or just a beautifully placed Puss packet there from that goal. So once GKG was out of the picture, there's, like I was saying, he's 2 players, so you're effectively taking 2 players out of the game, and then what is it? It's like 5 versus 7 at that point, effectively, and so it was just all downhill after that for for the bros. So pretty good effective execution there by by the Fellowship. And I wonder if they want to, if that's something that they pursue in the next few games, as they tie up the match 1 game apiece. The reason why I think it would be effective to focus down Giant Killer General is just because of the fact that he does count as kind of 2 players. I mean, he can still kind of armchair. He can take units. He can pull it out, but you're forcing him to. You're basically forcing him on the back foot by you're not giving him the comfort and the advantage of sticking to plan A by leaving him in the game. So I wonder if that would be something that they consciously choose to do in the next few games. As we look at the players, I mean, Arsenic did exceptionally well, I want to say, in terms of ratios. But actually, pretty much everybody on Osmodian's team, on Fellowship of the Bling, pulling out pretty big numbers here. And the way damage is calculated is unit trading points. So you kind of have to know the trading points for each individual unit type. So Thrall are your standard, I don't know, melee unit. They're worth 1 unit trading point. Archers or bowmen worth 3, and so on and so forth. Warriors are worth 2. And Heron Healers, I wonder how much they are worth on this map. But yeah, let's take a look at, yeah, GKG was just shut down. 6 kills to 21 losses. I mean, that really put his team pretty much at a disadvantage coming into the mid-game here in Game 2. And nobody was really quite able to recover from that, as you can see Kriniak falling almost just as hard. Or actually, yeah, even a little bit harder when you look at the numbers. The kills to losses ratios there. Yeah, so nobody was really able to recover there for the Bros, as the series is tied here in game number 2. We're going to move into game number 3, so stick around if you like. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoy the videos, and we'll see you in game number 3 coming up.